Namibia, Hage Geingob arriving there, the latest in a string of dignitaries that have already arrived. A bit earlier on, we saw the Angolan president as well as the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo. These are just some of the dignitaries that will be attending tomorrow's inauguration of President-elect Cyril Ramaphosa at the Loftus Versfeld Stadium in Pretoria.
So a lot of the activity happening here, some landing at Lanseria, the Zimbabwean president Emerson Mnangagwa landing at Lanseria. But yes, we have basically all the heads of state of the Southern African Development area in South Africa. They've been invited, 4,500 invited guests, including heads of state, and all have said yes to attend this inauguration.
Well, the president of Namibia, Hage Geingob, arriving there. You see he'll be welcomed by the minister, Jeff Radebe. Of course, Hage Geingob been in office in Namibia since March 2015. He was, of course, the first prime minister of Namibia from the March 1990, of course, to August 2002. Just a bit of history there, and served again as prime minister in 2012 and March 2015.
Yes,
but of course, again, some of you hear there in the background, our foreign editor, Sophie Mokoena, who will cross to very shortly. She'll give us more details, of course, talk about the relations between Namibia and South Africa, strong bilateral relations. And again, events like this, again, there, Francis, signify the good relations, good bilateral relations, extending hands of friendship between these different countries and South Africa, as its new president, of course, is going to be installed tomorrow.
Yeah, and the continent's still watching developments in South Africa very closely, sending heads of state. I wonder if these heads of state, some of them coming along with business people as well. I wonder if any deals will be discussed. Angola wanting to do much more activity in South Africa with regards to oil. Sophie, I don't know if she can hear us. Sophie, maybe you can run us through what's happening right there with the Namibian president arriving.
Yes, President Hage Geingob has arrived. Minister Naledi Pandor, Dr. Naledi Pandor, is the one who received the President of Namibia. As I indicated earlier on, he's currently the chair of SADC, and it is for that reason he is among those who have been invited. But he has been invited in his capacity as the President of Namibia, but also the chair of the SADC region. And you know that South Africa and Namibia has very, very strong relations. You know very well that during the struggle, both the African National Congress and SWAPO were fighting side by side in what was called a Quito Carnival battle, where we as a country were assisted by countries such as Cuba to liberate the SADC region, the frontline states. And President Hage Geingob arriving in South Africa, he is going to join other heads of states who have arrived already. We know very well that the president of DRC, Felix Tshisekedi, has arrived. We know that Angola has arrived, Zimbabwe has arrived, the delegation from the United States of America has arrived. We expect King Mswati to arrive very soon, immediately after President Hage Geingob.
Well, Sophie, just talk to us a bit about, the relations between South Africa and Namibia. Once again, with the visuals, of course, we're seeing and these heads of state and other dignitaries coming to South Africa. Of course, hands of friendship are extended. And, of course, many of these nations look to South Africa because of, as I indicated earlier, the smooth transition into democracy. So talk us through this rich history between the two countries.
Criselda, it is through the help or the assistance of countries such as Namibia that South Africa is free today. You know very well that Namibia is one country that was oppressed by the then apartheid regime, and therefore the relations are very, very strong. We know very well that in terms of training of people who were going to govern South Africa, Namibia played a very important role in training those who were in exile in terms of what needs to be done when they take over power. In other words, one can say there was a school or there was training in Namibia for those who are going to be civil servants. And we know very well that even to date, the two countries are working very well, and they support each other at the multilateral level and also in the region, but on the continent as well. We know very well that currently in meetings where you are discussing peace and security, South Africa can count on countries such as Namibia. These are the countries that suffered a lot under the apartheid regime. Thanks to Cuba, Cuba came in handy there to assist the frontline states to be liberated. As you can see, now we have a delegation from Cuba to come and join South Africa during the inauguration tomorrow.
Sophie, just a point of interest. We've seen, say, former US President Barack Obama arrive, and there are 10 hotels booked. There are cars with his blood driving behind him. Just describe sort of the entourage you're seeing for someone like a head of state, like Geingob, earlier like the Angolan president. What sort of security detail do they have?
Well, I must say the security is tight, but nothing one can compare to the Americans. You know, with Americans, it's a show off. They come with their cars, they come with two big planes, one carrying the president and the other one carrying the cars and perhaps the staff. And in terms of security, it becomes a lockdown, complete lockdown. I don't think they would have even allowed us to be here at Waterkloof if an American president was going to land at Waterkloof. Therefore, I can say the continent is quite modern. Yes, security because you can't take chances, but nothing close to what the Americans do.
All right, very interesting. And we'll take you back to Waterkloof.
That's right. Of course, the latest there, the Namibian president, of course, arriving there at Waterkloof Air Force Base. We'll continue to take you back there to our foreign editor, Sophie Mokoena, who is monitoring as many of those dignitaries and heads of state come through. A bit later on as well, we'll also be crossing to the 10th